السلام عليكم يا شباب، اهلا بكم في قناه مستر وائل الساينس. ابنائي وبناتي طلبه الصف الرابع الابتدائي الترم الثاني، هنحل النهارده بعض الاسئله على يونت 4 كونسبت 42 ليسن 2 اللي كان بعنوان ويند ايروجن. ان شاء الله تكونوا ذاكرتوا الدرس كويس وكلكم تحلوا الاسئله بصوره صحيحه. اتفضلوا يا شباب. choose the correct answer. The process of carving the rock into different shapes by wind blowing is deposition ولا erosion ولا transportation ولا weathering؟ الإجابة erosion. Sand dunes are formed by the effect of both space process. Mechanical weathering and deposition, erosion and weathering, erosion and deposition, chemical weathering and erosion. إجابتنا erosion and deposition. When the force of wind blowing space, the sand travels for longer distance. يا ترى decrease ولا become zero ولا doesn't change ولا increase؟ إجابتنا increase. Formation of sand dunes depend on space of wind blowing. Force only, direction only, both force and direction, neither force nor direction. إجابتنا both force and direction. Sand dunes are common landform between space environment. Beach and rainforest, beach and sandy desert, rainforest and sandy desert and ocean. إجابتنا beach and sandy desert. When a rock blocks the path of flying sand, a space may be formed. Dune ولا river ولا valley ولا canyon؟ إجابتنا dune. Space and space affect the distance and the way of sand that travel through air. Wind force and sunlight, sunlight and wind direction, wind force and wind direction, sunlight and Earth's gravity. sunlight ملهاش أي علاقة بالموضوع، فما فيش إجابة صح غير C. wind force and wind direction. But true or false? Wind can pick up sand grains in forming sand dunes. الكلام ده true. Sand dunes are the landform that can be seen in both beach and sandy desert. الكلام ده true. Sand dunes are formed by erosion only. لا، erosion و deposition. الكلام ده wrong. Sand travels for a short distance when winds blow with great force. طبعا لا، لو الwind blow with great force يبقى الساند travel for long distance. Sand dunes usually seen separately and may cover a small area. العكس تماما اللي بيحصل، فالكلام ده wrong. Wind cannot break down rocks. الكلام ده wrong. Mountains are formed when something blocks the path of wind carrying sand. الكلام ده wrong. مش الماونتين اللي بتتعمل، ده الساند ديونز اللي بتتعمل. Sand dunes are formed due to erosion and deposition process caused by wind. الكلام ده true. Write the scientific term of each of the following. It is the process by which the wind carve the rocks into different shapes. Erosion process. It is the landform that is formed by erosion and deposition of sand in sandy desert environment. Sand dunes. Complete the following sentences by using the word below. عندي direction وwind ورocks ودecreases وhundreds. Wind erosion can carve the space into different forms. إجابتنا rocks. Sand dunes are in continuous motion due to the effect of wind. When the force of wind أكيد decreases, the sand can't travel for long distance. Sand dunes may reach space of meter tall. إجابتنا hundreds. Sand can move forward and backward depend on the space of wind, direction of wind. Give reason for. A sand dune may be formed in front of large rock in desert because this large rock may block the way of the wind carrying sand, which leads to deposition of sand in this area forming sand dunes. Give reason for. The distance that the sand travel depend on the force of the wind because by increasing the force of the wind the sand travel for long distance, and by decreasing the force of the wind the sand travel for short distance. What happens if Wind that is carrying sand particles hits a big rock. ايه اللي ممكن يحصل؟ Sand dunes may be formed. Arrange the following sentences to show the steps of how wind can erode a rock. نقراهم الأول وبعدين نرتبهم. Flying sediments hit the rock. Blowing of wind across a land. أكيد دي step number 1. The sediment craves the rocks into different shapes. Wind start to pick up sand and other rock particles and carry them away. زي ما اتفقنا لازم blowing of wind across a land دي تبدأ بأول حاجة، وبعد كده نقول رقم 2 الwind start to pick up sand and other rock particles and carry them away، وبعدين نلاقي الفلاينج sediment hit the rock، وبعدين نلاقي ان السيدمنت كريف ذا روك انتو ديفرنت شيبس. كده يا شباب الاسئله تكون خلصت. اتمنى ان انتوا كلكم تكونوا حلتوها بصوره صحيحه. اتمنى لكم التوفيق دائما، الى ان نتقابل في ليسون 5 على خير. السلام عليكم.